Hi, if you have a nebulizer that you use for asthma treatment and it used to run quietly and it suddenly or progressively started getting louder and louder till you couldn't use it at night, or it just was unpleasant to turn it on, it's a pretty easy fix, I discovered. Now there's a guy on YouTube who did a video, but he doesn't explain, he just goes through it really fast. It's like a 30-second video and he doesn't explain what's happening. So I've already fixed mine, but and that noise you hear in the back is my bird. He always has to be the center of attention. All right, so but I'll show you what I did, and this is pretty easy. So first I turned it over and I removed these screws, and I found that there was 4 of them. There was one here and one here, and then there's one here. Obviously your model might be different, and there's a really deep one over here. So I had to get a pretty long, one of these long screwdrivers with interchangeable sockets, you know, or tips. Now this particular model, this Pro Neb, it uses Torx bits, which are not like screws, they're like star-shaped. I don't know if you can see that. They're not like a Phillips screw or anything. They're like a 5 or a 6-point star. So you undo the screws. This is going to be the boring part. Let me get this one because this one's easy. Okay, there's that one. Mine only has 4 screws. Yours may have more. Yours may use regular screws. I had to go to an auto parts store to find a set of Torx screwdrivers with interchangeable blades. It was this deal right here. And it cost me like under 10 bucks. And you know, if I ever have to take apart, you know, a smartphone or something with those little tiny screws in it, that'll come in handy. Ah, okay, there's the 4th screw. Okay, so here comes the fun part. Of course, you remember to unplug the thing before you start working on it, okay? So in the case of this particular unit, the top comes off. Okay, that's that. Let's put the top aside. Now, you turn this thing, I'm going to turn this toward you so you can see. You've got a couple of components here. Now, I don't claim to know how this thing works. It's a pump of some kind. You've got a propeller here. I don't know if that's putting in air, bringing in air, or taking out air, but it drives this little crank here. I don't know if you can see that. See? You've got this thing on the end, and it turns this little crank, this little, you know, it's like in an engine. Okay? And what happens is that one part gets loose here. You see there's another Torx screw in there. And what happens is this thing gets loose. So it keeps turning, but it's not a tight fit on the shaft of this propeller. So when this thing goes around and it's, you know, here, let me use my other hand. It's, you know, it's pushing and pulling this item right here. I don't know how well you can see that. See, it goes like that. Boing. It starts to hammer is what happens. This thing, here, I'll loosen it up so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about here. Ah. Let's loosen that one up. Come on. No, it's a different size. Hang on a second. Not that one. Maybe it's this one. Not that one. Maybe it's this one. Bear with me here. It's got to be this one. Bingo. All right, so I'll untighten this thing. I'll loosen it up. No, it's not that one. Darn it. Well, what's left? Well, this one's left. Let's try this one. Got it. Okay. Okay, so I loosened that. What it is, it's kind of like a flyweight, and it'll start moving. See? It'll start moving like that. And it's moving on the shaft. And boy, when that thing gets going, it's hammer time, because it starts hammering. See? Now if I tighten that thing back up, this, I guess it's a counterweight. Okay? It just turns. There's no noise, no extra noise. So that's what goes bad, is this counterweight, this weight on the end of the fan that drives the thing that makes the vapor. That's pretty much about all I understand about this. So you just got to get in there and tighten this thing back up. Sometimes it will have flown off and you'll have to reassemble it and put it on there, but it's cheaper than buying an entirely new nebulizer. So I hope that helps. I tried not to be too technical about it, but I just did that one quick tightening, and I plugged the thing in, and it hums again. It doesn't hammer. It's not doing that anymore. So give it a shot. Send me emails if you have any questions. I'll help if I can.